Okay everyone, here is part 2 of Totally Limbus Company. Last time we killed Monsoon, who I did not have a parallel on Limbus for, and to be honest I was not a big fan of that fight as he just had to sit there and parry. Anyways, after showing him one too many Freak Bob memes, he dies, and you are now tasked with... You ascend up the tower, but not without violating the laws of physics, but that's okay, this Canto is all about hype moments and aura. Yes, in contrast to the prologue where you run down a building, you are now running up a building while explosions happen around you. After farming an infinite amount of aura by showing your enemies that following the rules of gravity is optional, you are now greeted with...
What? Mistral? Jesus. No. It's clear for me if I had to get controlled by an AI.
That's right. You fight an artist's nightmare scenario of having to compete against soulless husks who do nothing but copy the techniques of the people before them. Fortunately, it's only their final phase of the fight that you have to do. Unfortunately, Monsoon's final phase doesn't give you any health drops, and what is that corner spam bullshit? Anyways, now that they're dead, before you fight Sundowner, you have one final conversation with him and a philosophical exchange on the nature of humanity. And in context, he speaks of harvesting organs of orphans to train them to ignore and commit war crimes as a form of business. Out of context, this is what he sounds like.
Son of a bitch, kids are cruel. They just lose touch with it as they get older. That's immoral. War crime this, code of conduct that. Kids, you can mold, manipulate into performing all kinds of atrocities. Bullshit! Like the good old days after 9/11.
So, yeah, take your pick of which version of this conversation you want to listen to. Anyways, the actual fight is pretty simple. It's pretty fun in the first phase, as he just needs you to be consistent with your parries and be precise with your blade mode. Second phase is when he becomes more active and where the fight truly shines with aggressive combos and dynamic pacing. Standard peak stuff. Just remember that he has 2 unblockable attacks and your only source of health are his gooners that spawn whenever you shave off 15% of his health. Just parry well and exploit the slow unblockables and you should be able to cut through this fight perfectly. Get it? Because he's using... After the spectacle of beating Sundowner, you get one of the most insightful quotes from Raiden ever.
That arrival 9/11 cannot be good.
What riveting information. Then, you do what most people do when they land in Detroit and then, it's time for the entire point of this video.
잘 놀다 갑니다.
Jetstream Heng. Because I like to suffer, I did not upgrade Raiden's sword, focus bar, or health bar at all in order to get the full experience of this fight. In fact, I completely forgot to upgrade through the entire playthrough because I was saving up for the Fox one. Oddly enough, despite disarming him, he's still dangerous without his sword, as all your heavy attacks are instantly parried and he can enter a stance which parries all attacks. That being said, compared to his other phases, this phase is relatively easy, as every move he does is also parryable, so you should be able to breeze past this. And in his third and final phase, his full moveset unlocks, and he even gets an attack where he uses the explosive momentum of his sword to dash through you 3 times. That move does look somewhat familiar.
Hereby.